about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Around Bay YouTube, it is your boy Charles, and today I want to talk about King Spawn number 45. I will review this book, it seems like every issue, even if it's not monumental, because I am in love with the art of Yodore Sennar. Everything he does, be it big, beautiful battles or the grotesque, it is always eye-catching and leaps off the page. And this is no different. It, but the one thing that's different from this is we don't have the big full panel battle scene that we've been getting in a lot of these books. Something I've come to expect in the King Spawn books is these big old full page or even 2-page battle panels. Well, we don't have that. This one is more about story. If you haven't been following along with it, every 20 or so years, boys end up being kidnapped and murdered, and it's been a mystery. And one detective lost his little brother when he was a child to this phenomena. And so he enlisted the help of Spawn to figure out what's going on, and ended up saving a boy. And because of that, this demonic mercenary, if you will, ended up attacking the police station. Spawn put the boy in a hiding and thought that they had handled this mercenary, but as he is being looked at on the Tinker's autopsy table, he springs back to horrifying life, and it ends up on the warpath, and then we cut to Spawn somewhere else with the young boy, or so we think. And it's just a ruse. That he makes it look like he's going to deliver the young boy to his fate to find out who's behind it. And one line here that really sets the tone of this whole book is where he says, yeah, right here. It says, I spent years of my life fighting every kind of evil there is. Demons, angels, vampires. But there is nothing that compares to the horror humans inflict upon each other. And each time I think I've seen the worst, humanity finds new ways to disgust me. And that's where we meet our antagonist, who is not a demon, vampire, angel, or monster, but a man. A man who selfishly made a pact centuries ago to preserve his life in exchange for offering sacrifices to this entity Moloch. And so that is interesting, is that we spent the last few issues trying to figure out what the hell is going on, who is behind this, and we find out that it is a ne'er-do-well from centuries ago who made a deal to murder 5 children every 20 years to extend his life another 25 years. And I think that really does speak to the monstrous nature of humanity. We are one of the most fragile beings in the ecosystem, yet we dominate it. And that's just, I'm not trying to get too deep here in this comic book review, but that's what I really took from it. Is I think that's the message that they're trying to drive home here, is that humans can at times be the biggest monster, and indeed he is. And what he has done is he's taken these centuries of stolen life and amassed wealth and power that he is not willing to give up. And it spends a lot of this book not so much on the action at all, but on telling this individual story. And answering a lot of questions we've had for the last few issues. And he is a new, dangerous, yes, but new antagonist for Spawn to deal with. And I think it's going to be interesting because it's not your typical supernatural battle. This is a whole different type of thing, and so they can go many different directions with it. I'm not going to ramble too much more about this because if I do, it's going to be getting into spoiler territory, and I don't want to do that. But there is so much more story here, and as well as a great story. Most importantly, in my estimation, you get to enjoy the art of Yodore Senara, and that, in my estimation, is well worth the price. So anyway, check this out at your local comic book store. And if you're in Wyoming, check out my friends at Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment. They're in the Eastridge Mall. And if you spend over $35 on comic books, you get your shipping for free in state. So that's a great deal. So I'll see you guys next time. Until then, keep reading them books. You know I will. I'm out.